You are listening to the In Between Sales Calls podcast with Derek Shebby, episode 24. Welcome, everyone. How strong are your communication skills? I'm referring to speaking to people with your voice, not fingers texting or your computer typing skills. I mean, how strong are your verbal communication skills? If I were to put you in a room filled with people you didn't know without your cell phone, how comfortable would you be? Would you be able to have a conversation with anyone? Are you that confident in your ability to make a friend with anyone? Communication over the years has become a lost skill. It's true. We've never had to teach that skill in sales before. I'm not talking about public speaking here. I realize there's a class for that in college. I'm just talking about how to speak to people, carry on a conversation, get to know someone you don't necessarily want to know. It's surprising how we don't actually teach this. Growing up without the internet, it was just the way things were. You spoke to each other. I'm sure many of you listening to this right now can't relate growing up without technology like cell phones, emails, and texting, but some of you probably can. The way we communicated was only verbally back then. Email didn't come much later. Heck, chat rooms on America Online was before that. That's where the whole "you've got email" came from. Fast forward to today, and sales is still a human business. We speak to each other. That's how deals get done, verbally, not with the text or the email. They want to look in your eyes and get to know you. People still do business with people they like and trust. Are you giving off that impression when you communicate? A few years ago, I noticed that the younger salesperson generation who didn't have the same life training and communication as I did were struggling with basic skills. So I decided to test it out to see if there's any truth to this communication skill being lost. I had a sales class of 15 sales reps. It was mixed, with about 11 of them being right out of college and new to sales. That was the group that I was interested in seeing how they would do in this exercise. The other 4 of the reps, to round out the 15, were tenured. This wasn't their first sales job, and they were on the side of the fence that grew up like me without technology. So I created a communication exercise for this group. Now, just a few days before, I reached out to our sales operations manager and asked if I could borrow 15 of their sales ops team for an hour during our sales training. So they came into the room. If you could picture these people, they were all extremely nervous. They were sales support and not used to being put in the spotlight at all. They were not naturally excited to be chatted up with a bunch of salespeople. I gave each of them a sheet of paper. On that paper, it had each of the sales reps' names written on them. And they were to write down, during the exercise, how those sales reps made them feel and what their first impressions were of them. I told them this without the sales reps knowing. So then I told the sales reps, separately, that I just wanted them to talk to these people, who all worked at the same company that they did, and just to get to know them. They would each have 2 minutes, and we would rotate the pairings. After everyone had their chance to meet and each of their quick meetings wrapped up, I met with the salespeople. I asked them what they thought of the exercise. Everyone said that they enjoyed it, which I would have expected them to say. I then told them that it was an exercise about communication and leaving a great first impression. I then asked them how they felt their impression was with the 15 sales operations people. The things I heard out of their mouths from then were how confident they were about how great their conversations were and that they made new friends. Then I went to speak privately with the sales operations team that came to help. I asked them each to tell me which salesperson made the best impression with them and why. Guess who they all chose? The 4 older, tenured reps. No one chose a new rep. When I asked them why, it was all the same answers. They asked me questions. They genuinely wanted to know me. They found things we had in common. They listened and they made me feel comfortable. Now, when I relayed this information back to the 15 sales reps, their responses were very interesting. Most of the younger salespeople were shocked. They couldn't believe that not one of them thought that they made a great first impression. Some of them actually got pretty mad. So today's success habit is to have a daily practice of going out and making a new friend. Look, communication skill must be proactively taught in sales nowadays. I'm sorry, that's just the way that it is. You must practice making a friend with people you don't know. You must consciously think about what type of person you would need to be to be a good communicator. And in sales, we have to meet people constantly. You need to be likable. In that exercise before, there was no question that if there was a deal on the line, who would those people have gone with? Well, they would have gone with one of the sales reps that made a great impression with them, right? Keep it simple. I've got a quick exercise for you, and I dare you to do it today. Go talk to someone you've never spoken to before, just around where you live. Get in a conversation for 5 minutes. Spend those 5 minutes asking questions about them. Spend those 5 minutes trying to find things that you have in common. Spend those 5 minutes trying to make a new friend. Be interested in what they say. Be attentive and open to learning something new. They should speak 4 out of the 5 minutes. Do you think you can make it happen? Do you think you can make a new friend out of nowhere? I believe in you. Go have fun. And don't open up that cell phone until it's done. That's it for today's episode. Thank you for allowing me to join you on your sales journey. See you next time. Hey, if you enjoyed listening to this podcast, then you have to come check out my free 5-day sales training course of my proven Sales in 21 Days program. I designed it to help you make more money in sales. Whether you're looking for a fast start or just looking to sharpen your skills, you can't afford to miss it. Come get free access today over at www.salesin21days.com. That's www.salesin21days.com. I'd love to have you join the program. See you there.